So, welcome to this meditation atelier. We are currently knee deep in spring, and the clocks are changing various parts of the world. The North America's have changed, and Europe will be changing in a few more weeks. But we're starting to see more light. We'll be seeing the changes in the nature around us. So it's a really beautiful time of year to be being in the present moment. So last week we explored taking mindful snack breaks and that regular little just checking in, and the nature is something that I really encourage you over the coming weeks to be to be keeping an eye on. So having a cup of tea and just watching what's going on. On the flip side of this is also a respiratory season where we get lots of coughs and colds, and we're quite run down. So being mindful of activities that may deplete you further, and trying to introduce more activities that nourish you, that soothe your nervous system, which supports your immune system. So do bear that in mind. Get out in nature and in the sunlight as much as you can. Even if the skies are grey, you'll still benefit. So if you are struggling with any breathing issues, take great care of yourself. Okay, if you need to cough, cough. If you need to sneeze, sneeze, and as best you can, dropping into the felt sensation of that within your body. Sneezing in particular is an interesting one. Okay, so let's begin. Right. Having a sense of arrival, of having taken your seat. And dropping into the sounds from your space. What's your experience of sounds? Are they on one side of the body more than another? Do they move? Noticing how you might label or judge sounds, that your mind can jump into action and create stories and fill in the gaps of what the sounds are. And as best you can, dropping into sounds as sounds, being playful with this. How we might label some sounds pleasant or unpleasant. And an invitation to scan from your head down to your toes and just check in with your posture. An invitation to elongate your spine. Gently tuck your chin so you're elongating the back of your neck. As best you can, having a self-supporting spine. If you find it helpful, you can smooth your brow, weaving the movements into your practice, noticing sensations. Do your hands feel cold or warm? How does your skin feel? Gently massaging your scalp, perhaps just lifting your head slightly, taking the weight of your head, stretching your spine. And then just massaging the cheeks and the jaw, letting go of any tension or tightening, moving to the back of the neck and the shoulders. We hold a lot of tension in this part of the body, the face, the neck. This is how we communicate to the world. These facial expressions, our posture, how we present ourselves. Modern living leans towards us having a hunched and curled over posture. This protective. It's a posture that protects the organs, but it causes tightening and stiffness, shortening of muscles in other parts of the body. So it can take a little bit of effort to hold a graceful and dignified posture. When you hold yourself in this way, your body's communicating to your brain that you're safe. And from the body, an invitation to bring your awareness to your breath. To breathe in and breathe out. And an invitation to extend the out breath just slightly. So it might be that you breathe in for the count of 4 and breathe out for the count of 5. Your counts, your rhythm. Finding a comfortable and soothing, nourishing, and easy rhythm of breath. Meeting yourself where you are today. Not a competition. Don't need to push. But noticing if you have that habit or tendency. And then an invitation to expand your awareness of the breath to include all of your body. How are you today? What exactly is that? What sensations? We're going to practice narrowing and widening the lens of our attention, building on the practices that we've been exploring over the past few weeks. And we're going to start with the body. So I want you to scan around your body and find something that's standing out for you. So it could be pain, it could be a scratch that you want, an itch that you want to scratch, it could be a tingle, it could be some bracing or tightening within the body. Doesn't matter if it's pleasant or unpleasant, but just something that sort of feels a bit noisy, calling your attention. What exactly are the sensations? Resting with it just for a moment. Does it have a shape, a colour, a texture? Does it move? Are there any impulses that you're resisting? And then an invitation to move and adjust and give in to those impulses. So slowly weaving any movements into the practice. The noises and sounds, and then returning to stillness and resting in the felt sensation of having made those movements and adjustments, observing what's here now. There's something else calling your attention. Perhaps resting in the relief of having made those movements, or maybe there's some disappointment that the sensations have come back, that the relief was momentary. Just resting with the sensations. Checking in with your posture. It's noticing if any tension or tightening has crept in, bringing those shoulders back down, letting go of tightening the face in concentration, elongating your spine, perhaps extending the out breath. Taking those small moments to check in with ourselves. taking care of our health and our well-being. And these small moments and these small check-ins. And now an invitation to widen the lens of your attention to the spaces within the body that are giving you no reason to give them attention at all. So perhaps noticing the contact with the earth that you're making, the fabric of your clothes against its skin, the waistband of your clothes, the sleeves, the collars, the jewelry against your skin. Your feet. So shining the spotlight around your body of the places where there's very little sensation or distraction. Perhaps noticing how much bigger it is, how much more space it takes up. I mean, that may not be the case, but exploring and noticing. Maybe it's not quite so quiet when you shine the spotlight of attention here. Maybe there are sensations of warmth or coolness, colours, textures. As we give some recognition and some time for these quieter parts of our bodies, maybe aren't quite so interesting or dramatic. And then returning your awareness to your breath, breathing in, breathing out, extending that out breath. That's helpful. Maybe shortening the breath if you're feeling sleepy. A few in breaths and out breaths through the mouth can be helpful to wake ourselves up. That breathing in for 3 and out for 3. And returning your breath to its natural rhythm when you're ready. Not criticizing, not judging, but being with ourselves as we are. Just for the space of this session, we can go back to our judging, criticizing, analysing ways for the other 16 hours of the day that we're awake. For now, we're practicing being in the present moment, dropping into the space of our bodies, learning its language, listening and paying attention, exploring the realities of what our body experiences, dropping out of the prefrontal cortex and into all the space of this body. It's unsentimental and generally just gets on with it, getting very little attention from us unless it's causing us challenge or pleasure. Breathing in and breathing out in the space of your body, today, here, right now. And having said we're stepping out of the prefrontal cortex, I'm inviting you back in there just for a few moments to try to find something that happened yesterday or recently that's irritated you, and just bringing that situation into your mind's eye. Doesn't need to be a big one. In fact, be careful what you choose. And then holding it in your mind's eye, I want you to expand your awareness to your body and what its experience of this irritating moment. Now, stepping away from the story and into what the body's experience of it is, if it is. So you have to be playful with yourself here on that. Not getting too lost in the story. Moving into the space of the body and how it experiences irritation. Where do you feel it most in the body? Is it the chest, the back, the face? And then checking in with your feet. Do they experience irritation? I mean, information's being passed all around. Do you notice it in your shins, in your calves, in your knees, your thighs, your pelvis, your buttocks, your belly, the back, arms, fingers? Being curious and interested. What's your body's experience of being irritated? And now let's expand outwards from the rest of the day that this irritation happened. All the activities and all the things that you did that caused you minimal stress were neutral. Your breakfast, brushing your teeth, having a shower, washing up. All these mundane activities that make the most of our day, that fill most of the space, that you can do automatically with very little active intervention. You know how to take care of yourself. Numerous times you went to the toilet, washed your hands, took care of yourself, took care of others, primarily on autopilot. The things you saw, the nature, the buildings, the food. How many times you turned a tap on and water appeared. These small miracles that go barely noticed. What's your body's experience of these stories, of these experiences, of these moments that pass by fairly unnoticed? An invitation to turn towards yourself with some kindness, compassion, gratitude for all these things that you can do without having to pay attention. These small moments that make up most of our lives, that we give very little attention to. And an invitation to narrow your awareness back to your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. And then expanding your breath to include all of your body. This body that experiences challenge and difficulty and irritations. Joy, excitement, pleasure. And the mundane and the ordinary that we take for granted. And that's okay. It's not something to feel guilty or beat yourself up about. There's something to notice, be mindful of, to pay attention and notice. That by learning to take care of yourself in this way, this has a ripple effect on you, the people around you, your environments, the decisions that you make. Simply by resting in the present moment and exploring what it is to be you, using the breath and anchoring in the body. Breathing in and breathing out. Your body is always there to anchor you in the present moment, as is the breath. You can narrow into the sensations that cause you discomfort or pleasure, and then widen the lens, the attention, to all the other areas of the body. giving yourself some space to pause. You don't need to fix or change anything, but noticing things just as they are. Resting in stillness for a few moments. It's going to read something from Thich Nhat Hanh. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. At lunchtime, prepare a meal for yourself. Cook the meal and wash the dishes in mindfulness. In the morning, after you have cleaned and straightened up your house, after you have worked in the garden or watched clouds or gathered flowers, prepare a pot of tea to sit and drink in mindfulness. Allow yourself a good length of time to do this. Don't drink your tea like someone who gulps down a cup of coffee during a work break. Drink your tea slowly and reverently, as if it were the axis on which the earth revolves. Slowly, evenly, without rushing towards the future. Live the actual moment, for only this actual moment is life. So moving and stretching your body in ways that you probably ignored. And let's move to taking a cup of tea together. And I'm continuing with this moringa green tea, which has got black pepper, and it's going to stop me getting any illness ever, apparently. I'm going to pause the space. For those of you practicing in your own time, an invitation to get your Virginia Woolf on. Just write maybe a page in a stream of consciousness style of what you experienced within that practice, what was interesting, what was uninteresting, and what you noticed within your body. So hopefully you were interested in yourself and found some interesting things going on there. If anything did come up that you'd like to explore, do reach out. It's not always easy sitting with ourselves in that way. But let's begin, let's close, and you move into beginning the rest of your day by connecting to the body, noticing the points of contact that you're making with the earth, elongating your spine, correcting your posture to be dignified and graceful, releasing any tension or tightening in the face and jaw, bringing the shoulders down, narrowing your awareness to your breath, breathing in and breathing out, extending that out breath. And taking a moment to think about what you have to do next. What does your body need? And can you bring this mindful awareness into regular pockets within your day? So continuing these mindful snack breaks that reinforce the work that you're doing within these sessions, rewiring that grey matter, soothing the nervous system, supporting your rest and restoration processes within the body, your immune system, your digestion, so that you can nourish and take care of yourself. Breathing in and extending that out breath. And then expanding your awareness to include all of your body. And as best you can, taking this sense of connection and awareness into whatever you have left to do with your day. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time.